You know the guy I'm talking about. The one who'd rather have a quiet night in than go to a loud party. The one who isn't live streaming every second of his life. And yeah, society has a few labels for him, right? Weirdo, loner, maybe even that he's failing at life. But what if that's completely wrong? What if he's not just getting by? What if he's building a life of strength that most people can't even comprehend?
See, this is the real battle right here. On one side, you've got society's script. It's the one we're all handed at birth. It tells us we need constant connection, we need people to like our stuff, and we need to just follow the crowd. But then there's his script, and it's all about deliberate solitude, finding peace on the inside, and writing his own damn rules. He's not just on a different page, he's reading a completely different book.
So why does his choice feel so strange to the rest of us? Well, it's because we're all raised inside what you could call the system of noise. It's this nonstop culture of distraction where every quiet moment feels awkward, almost painful. The system is designed to keep us constantly looking outward, because if we ever looked inward, well, that's where the really tough questions are waiting for us.
I mean, be honest. What's the very first thing you do when you have a moment of silence? In line at the coffee shop, waiting for a friend, the hand just automatically goes for the phone, right? We're trained to fill every single empty space.
And it's not just the phone. That impulse is everywhere. Podcasts on the drive to work, music blasting at the gym, the TV on in the background for no reason. We just can't stand the thought of being alone with our own thoughts.
So what do? We put our lives out there. A post, a story, a witty comment, and we wait, just hoping for that little ping, that notification that gives us a tiny hit of validation, proving that somebody, somewhere is watching.
And pretty soon, our entire life becomes a performance. We're playing a character we think other people will like. And the craziest part? After a while, we forget we're even on stage. We get lost in a role that's slowly smothering the person we actually are. And this is the trap. We end up living someone else's script. We're chasing dreams. But are they even our dreams? We're following rules written by people who just want to sell us something. And eventually, the costume we're wearing feels more real than our own skin. We forget who we were before the show started.
Which brings us to a really important question. If this whole system is so normal, then why does it treat the guy who opts out like he's some kind of threat? Why is the man who chooses to be alone so often the villain of the story?
The answer is simple. He's dangerous. Not physically, but economically. A person who finds fulfillment and peace from within, well, that person is incredibly difficult to control. You can't manipulate someone who doesn't need what you're selling.
He's basically a marketer's worst nightmare. He's not buying a new car to fill an emotional void. Those ads that are designed to make you feel insecure, they just bounce right off him. He's not chasing the next dopamine hit from a notification or a new purchase. Simply put, he's psychologically free.
And hey, this isn't some new age idea. The philosopher Schopenhauer totally nailed this hundreds of years ago. He understood that being authentic and being alone are linked. It's only when the audience is gone and the pressure to perform vanishes that you can finally truly be yourself.
But look, this isn't just about what he's rejecting. That's only half the picture. The other and honestly more important half is about what he is actively building in all that quiet time. There's some serious, powerful work happening in the silence.
So what's he building? For starters, mental strength. While the world is shattering its attention span into a million pieces, he's forging the superpower of deep focus. He's building emotional resilience so he doesn't crumble without constant praise. He's not collecting followers, he's building a few rock-solid, authentic relationships. And he's mastering real skills, not for applause, but for the sake of mastery itself.
This is ancient wisdom. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius knew that true peace isn't some place you go on vacation. It's a fortress you build inside your own mind. It's a retreat you can access anytime, no matter what chaos is happening outside. This man has built that retreat.
The great psychologist Carl Jung even had a name for this process. He called it individuation. It's the courageous work of looking at all of yourself, the good, the bad, the stuff you hide, and integrating it. The goal isn't to be perfect. The goal is to be whole.
And that leads us to Nietzsche. Solitude forces you to answer the biggest question of all. Why am I here? What's my purpose? And once you have your why, the how doesn't matter so much. The opinions of the crowd just become background noise because you're following your own internal compass.
Okay, let's hit the big objection head on, the one you've probably been thinking. This all sounds nice, but isn't it just a poetic way of saying the guy's lonely and sad? It's a fair question.
And the answer is absolutely not. In fact, this is where we find the great paradox of connection. The man who needs people the least is often the one who has the very best, most genuine relationships. See, he's not antisocial. He's anti-bullshit.
Just look at the difference here. So many of the connections we chase are driven by neediness. The goal is to get something, validation, approval. But for him, connections are driven by choice, by completeness. The goal isn't to get anything. It's to share a self that's already whole. The foundation is reality, not a performance.
And all of this leads to one massive realization. Real freedom isn't something you have to earn or find. It's already inside you. It's realizing you never, ever needed anyone's permission to be happy or to be yourself.
This means you become the architect of your own life. You stop being a victim of what's going on around you. Your sense of worth is no longer up for a vote by others. You realize that true freedom isn't having a million distractions to choose from, it's needing almost none of them. It's about owning your own peace.
If you boil this entire idea down to a single sentence, it's this. It's incredibly simple and incredibly powerful. While everyone else was busy performing for an audience, he was quietly practicing. We're taught our whole lives to search for the answers out there, in the next job, the next relationship, the next purchase. But the great secret, the one this man has discovered, is that the answer was never out there to begin with. It's always been in here. So that just leaves one last question. And this one isn't about him. It's about you. The journey inward is the most important one you'll ever take, but it demands real courage. So the only question that matters is, are you brave enough to look?